What's up, you little twinks? Welcome back to Ramen's Bunker Binge. We're playing through all the Frictional games again. This is an hour-long, mostly unedited, long play of Machine for Pigs. And let's get into it. A lot of reading. Book some time aside. Let's have a go. Machine for Pigs is so cool. It appears I have no choice, thus I descend and may God have mercy upon my soul. If this is my bedlam, and I to be cast as Matthews, then I will wear that mantle for the sake of my boys, and face whatever horrors lie beneath the altar. First off, I didn't get rid of the blue fog, so I'm just gonna go get rid of that now quickly. Oh, I am gonna also make a cup of tea quickly, because I really want a cup of tea. Make one with me, pause the video, go make a cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever you want. And we'll come back, and we'll get into the game. I just had a mini snowball fight with my brother. It was really fun. Alright, he's got to leave for work, so we had to be quick. He was complaining, he's like, I want to be in a snowball fight. And then I'm like, alright, I'll do a couple with you. And he's just like, no, I gotta go work, I can't play. And I'm like, what? Why'd you ask? Alright. Let's get our note guide up again so we can make sure we don't fucking eat this up. I think we have all of these. Jeremiah, final thoughts, that's downstairs, yeah, I remember. Okay. So we should be fine. Just want to double check. I mean, I'm not against playing this again, I love Machine for Pigs. You know, replaying Requiem made me appreciate it more as well. Requiem was the only Frictional game that I just flat out didn't like. I don't mind it now. That's character development. The fog makes it... The fog being gone. Oh, I love it. Oh, you serious? I thought I literally turned that on. 1 second. I can't believe that happened. You missed it. You missed... Oh, I'm so upset. Oh. It's okay. You didn't miss it. I walked down the stairs. Did you use your imagination? I literally checked it. I actually clicked the button. Maybe I moved my mouse as I clicked and it didn't register.
Listen, Papa. Hold the egg to your ear. You can hear the sea.
What exhumation is this? What rotten fruit? What bestitching of parts? I doubt it will ever be found, yet I leave you this, scrawled in the malodorous half-light, whilst my tormentor shuffles below, my fellow prisoners keen and squeal in the gloam, and where I wait for the knocking upon my cage that signifies it is finally my turn to make that dark journey into the interior. Turn up your volume, folks. I'll turn mine up. Fucking Jesus! I was pressing F3 to... Did I just trigger that dialogue? Is this dialogue supposed to be triggered now? I was pressing F3 to turn up my volume. Did I trigger that accidentally? I have this on. Does anyone know what they're actually saying yet? Did we find that out? I can't believe that was awful timing for me to turn up my fucking volume and have that blast my ears out. Oila Stadium! Oracle. I have no idea what they're saying. Playing this on PS4 as well, and having the light flicker the fuck out of your room, super obnoxious. It's cool in Dark Descent, but in Machine for Pigs it's just annoying. I love ambiences like this, I just want to make stuff like this all the time. I kinda wanna get killed to see where this actually puts you. I don't think I've got killed in Machine for Pigs before. Apart from the Tesla pig. You know. Ah! Oh my god. God, shut up. Like, they're not intimidating as enemies, but the noises they make are fucking horrendous. Oh. That's so scary. The noise. That terror meter is really good. The steam as well. Machine for Pigs is just a really smart game. Can I jump on this? Oh. I just want to make this encounter scary. That's why I'm doing this. Have you ever really been scared by Machine for Pigs? Yeah, I didn't think so. Mickey despawned. It's really easy to run past him, you just go zoom and click on the door. Can you hide under this? Oh fuck yes, that's amazing. I wish there was more hidey gameplay in this game. It's built for it in mind, it just doesn't really abuse it. Abuse it? Use it. Alright, did we get every node? Yes. Yes, we did. And so to the stoking, pulling cogwheels now, sneezed into his kerchief when the dust got into his eyes. I've begun to change more rapidly now, he surmised. Machine for Pigs does have the workings to be a good horror game. And it is a good horror game. But, I mean, in the sense of the monster department and stuff. Hey, look what I'm eating for dinner. Ironically enough, I can't say the word, you can read it. I have mashed broccoli, cauliflower, and these. I love these. I love eating these. I love pork and faggots, sorry, but these are genuinely really, really nice. They're just little pork meatballs. They're good. So I'm gonna eat my dinner and then we'll be back. Oh man. Sorry if that made a bunch of noise. Right. So it took me longer than I thought it would to eat my dinner. Just because of all my stomach problems. I've talked about this before. I actually have my what's it called? Ultrasound in a couple of days. Which is gonna be fun, trying to get the car started when it's constantly at minus temperatures and it's a diesel, so that's fun. But my god. I forgot what my point was. Oh yeah, and then sometime in March, probably in March, I'll have my gastro exam. Fucking footsteps with no other reverb on it.
Water in his shoes. Always the water, and the sparks of the embers of the wheels. It's too bony! It's too damn bony!
Such an interesting mix. My soul shudders at what I have seen, but at last I have reached the main part of the factory. Now onwards, downwards, to find the floodwaters and drain them away. Like Moses, I will cleave the waters and lift my little darlings clear of its vile cradle. How many notes are in this level? I wasn't paying attention. Is this? Yeah, this one. There's 4. Okay. Wonder if there's things about Machine for Pigs I just don't know, because I don't play it very often.
These men, Professor, these so-called men of vision, they would shackle the masses to a wheel and turn it till their backs break. All for that opiate, the lure of profit. These fools who lackey them, these priests, these officials, this government, they make pigs of us all.
But what solution, my dear man? How to break a cycle? You cannot simply remove the promise of a better world for these unfortunates. In the workhouses, in the orphanages, the belief in heaven is surely the only succor one can find.
We do not need to wait. We can bring forth paradise now. We can speed the passion. With only a small sacrifice, we can hold the apocalypse. With just a small sacrifice, we can free our shackles and deliver them to paradise now.
I love the voice acting as well, because you could hear, it wasn't just he recorded the one line, or they, whoever, if it was like a group session, you could hear him tutting and like thinking about a response as the other dude was talking. I love that sort of thing. It adds just so much more personality to the character when you can hear their mouth move when they're not speaking. It's like, it just adds so much flavour to the realism. I really appreciate little details like that, because a lot of times when it's voice acted, People just do line by line. Even if it's like a conversation, they won't be present until their role starts. So having... oh god, the frame dive. This game is still not optimized, huh? Having the realistic reactions to somebody else in dynamic conversation, I love it. Jump scare. Just... why didn't you just animate 2 different run cycles? A regular one and then just an actual bigger leaped one. It's the same as Rebirth. The enemy animation for their movement is sped up, so it doesn't work very well. They sort of really quickly shamble towards you rather than realistically, dynamically make their way over. It's so strange. I mean, I know why it's done. Because the animation speed and their movement is just... they've just timed it differently. Oh, disabling the fog makes it so you can see down there. Oh, wow. Huh. Huh. Oh, shit. Haha. Whose idea was that as well? Whoever they are, give them a raise. Little pig dude driving a truck. It's amazing. It's so sexy. Open fully. Near to here. Hello?
Hear me, Mantis.
No.
I am compromised. Our contacts must be brief and occasional. Beware the wretches who populate this compound. The way you seek is under the pistons. When you meet the saboteur, you will understand everything.
We didn't miss a note, did we? Second drawer in the office above the piston hole. No, we didn't. Each compartment is ergonomically designed with a feed trail at one end so the product naturally settles into a position ready for the stunning arms to connect to the skull. We use the natural static charge built up by the friction of the carts against the belt to build an electric charge, which is contained within glass vacuum canisters at the sides of the stunning arm mechanisms and delivered along the stun arms via copper cabling. We have observed that the artificial lightning contained within these canisters seems to calm the product further. Post-stunning, the line tilts sharply to the vertical, the physics of which tips the stun product upwards to fall directly under the hook of the bleeding line. This hook passes normally through the haunch or thigh of the product, and from this point we dispense with the belt, and instead instigate a channeled flow, which creates a funnel allowing blood and byproduct excretions to collect and run to the fluid collection tanks. Gonna edge these pigs for all the cum they've got, sorry, all the blood they've got. And shit. I want these pigs to shit cum and blood all over. Why am I saying that? You know, you can think before you speak. That's a good life lesson. Get down from there. I wonder if I can interact with these. Does it give me like a little... No. Fuck off. But that is a woke manager. There they them are. That's the woke manager. Oh, I'm sorry. I take it back. Let's get chased. Oh, we have to do a puzzle first. Piss. Bro, I piss a ton. I have a really big bladder. That was loud. What's that? Do I hear screaming? Don't care. I care. I care very much. scary noises. Yikes, you know? Stop! Your furnace is fueled? My god, I sure hope so! Oh. 1. Thanks for the subtitle. I couldn't tell what I was looking at. Maybe it's an eye. Why do I keep bumping them? I knew there was a reason I brought this in with me. A series of collecting vents have been installed along the ceiling at this stage of the line. In the process of stunning and bleeding, the product often expels stinking vapours from its digestive system, which can be collected, condensed and used in the methane boiler to drive the engine as a whole. In this way, the more product is processed, the more power becomes available to the machine and productivity is actually increased. A simple stroke of genius, but one that encapsulates the benefits of self-regulatory automation. Okay, we got 2. Damn it. I'm just imagining that I need to pick these up. Can I use one to push the other one? Kinda. Number 6. Number 16. Oh, that sound, you hear that? No entry to the under pistons when machinery is at rest. Lily's arms are made of steel. Lily's arms are silent. The pistons are silent. The plant is at rest. I must poke the hornet's nest. Open my way, I fear. The scale of these engines suggests a far greater works than is visible from the surface, so my friend must be correct, and the larger part of this plant is underground. We are close to the Thames. No wonder flooding is such a risk. Oh, I wonder where that actually takes place. I still remember when Markiplier pronounced Thames as Thames. I know. It's so scary. It's a silly thing to bring up, but it just makes me laugh. English is a fucking stupid language though. Hey. Fuck off. Oh yeah, I remember. It's very loud, so I'm gonna pause. This is one of the parts, if you watch this whole series up until now, not Machine for Pigs, but the whole bunker binge, you'll remember that in Overture, or Black Plague I mentioned, the Dread Prophecy, or the Curie moment as I call it, where every Frictional game has a a moment in it that elicits such dread and fear that I wanted to coin a term around it. And I think a lot of horror games need a Curie moment, just a moment. The Curie from Soma is what I'm referencing, because that really used to scare me, and I'm really excited to play Soma after this so I can see if it actually gets to be like it used to. 8 years ago, so I don't know if it's gonna still spook me as much as it did. But this is my Curie moment for Machine for Pigs. I think every good horror game needs a Curie moment. I don't remember where it spawns. Oh, I don't like it. Hey. Ah! So hard to see him, you know? Where's the note? Middle lower area of the piston hole. Ah? Where's the note? Oh, this is so spooky. It's so loud. Oh. Huh? Hold up. It's so loud, fuck me. The middle of the lower area of the... I know there's one here where the pig roams. Turn left and backtrack a bit. The note is on a workbench near a fence that separates the left side of the hole. Turn left. The middle lower area of the piston hole. Yeah, I'm actually going to turn my computer, my volume down, because it's fucking loud. I thought it was over there. Oh. I can probably get away from them super easy, it's just the fear of being caught. And the difficulty of being able to see them. Is this the metal that they're on about? I remember struggling to find this one. Right, I'm gonna look around. I found it. It's on the other side of that fence. October 21st, 1899. The product moves now into the bleeding. A system of spring-loaded blades are arranged here. Tension is built via a series of springs that run along the bleeding line, using the momentum of the product itself to build up the energy for the action ahead. The blades are released at a point of optimum tension as the product passes them. The combination of the speed of release and the sudden stop against the rubber buffers at the side of the line sets the blade spinning rapidly enough to cut the throat of the product. It's a clean, sympathetic and efficient process. The product then continues along the line and the natural bleeding process is allowed time to occur, the blood collecting in the angled basin at the foot of the line. Secondary spring blades are positioned at 2 further points along the line. Should the mid-level rubber buffers continue to be manipulated in the form of a semi-bled product dashing or twitching, these movements automatically form the basis of the spring energy required to send the next bleeding blade into activity. Alright, we got it. I think they despawn. Yeah, they despawn. Oh, I didn't know they despawn in this area. That's kind of a shame. It would have been spooky to get around them. maybe they weren't. The fires are stoked, assuming the same architect is responsible here as with the chemical plant. I surmise that a centralized control system regulates and operates the pistons. It should be a simple matter of finding it and hoping the sabotage will be done to death to simply extinguishing the fires. What did that dark voice instruct me to do? Under the pistons, into the tunnels and onto the bilge pumps. And if the doors should be locked, I will have to find another means of descent. I cannot trust him, but my path says I should ignore those noises, that snaffling, those shuffling steps below me. I will brave whatever lurks beneath and I will save them.
Oh yeah, prove it. Ow.
The crate arrived this morning and I had it delivered directly to the workshop. The body is remarkably preserved, although there is a subtle yet nauseating stench of damp and rot. It is humanoid in shape, but has suffered severe skeletal deformity. Remnants of leather straps encase the torso, which is deformed, with evidence of substantial muscle mass and displacement. It is difficult to ascertain whether this unfortunate is the recipient of some barbarous surgery or was born deformed and an attempt to force his gnarled body into some semblance of humanity was made. What he is I cannot tell, but I smell the orb upon him, and suspect my great uncle's presence in his curious condition. Which is Alexander. People say, oh, it's Daniel. Daniel is Thingy's great uncle. I don't think that's specifically true whatsoever, because Daniel didn't really have anything to do with the orb. I know he got it from Algeria, blah, 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 gave it to Alexander, but Daniel was only doing experiments with the orb for like a week, or like 2 weeks or something. Fucking Alexander was doing experiments for centuries with the orb that he took from Agrippa in the 1600s. So... But then Agrippa lost his orb anyway. I don't know how Agrippa even got another one for Alexander to use. I don't think they even knew about it. So I think people calling... What's that? Hello. What he is I cannot tell, but I smell the orb upon him and suspect my great uncle's presence in his curious condition. So it can be done. We can reshape the body into a tool, and accelerate the processes of Mr. Darwin's evolution. But here my great uncle and I part company. He chose men as the subjects of his experiments, but men are difficult to control and rotten with sentimentality. No, we require a new creature for our chattels. Chattels? Loyal, clever, strong, easily sated. Yeah, see? And the chose men of the subjects of his experiments. That wasn't Daniel. Daniel didn't pick anybody. Alexander did. So somewhere along the line, Alexander was unfaithful to his beloved. Unless she was exiled with him and then managed to get back without him. That's an interesting thought. I doubt it's true. Makes more sense that he was just exiled and left her behind. Is Alexander's love interest even stated as a female? He just says, my love. Sorry I keep pausing my slave escapes again. Right, I'm back. Listen to this. My elbow won't stop clicking. Yeah, so we got all of those. Now we're in the lab. Sexy, sexy laboratory. Let me in, please. Don't laugh at me, you little bastards. I'll actually fucking kill you. Get it? That was me and you sharing a knowing glance. In the nest of eggs, it is cradled in his sweating hands. It sucks the fever loose from his body. He dreams of birds far above in the jungle canopy. A jaguar coughing at the dawn. That's one of the scariest noises I've ever heard. That's... Oh. Sabotage. Bruised and battered but alive, I have survived the saboteur's best efforts. He and I are now locked in an epic struggle. But I'm driven to find my family, and I will prevail. Ignore the madness about me. Do not consider what cruel and unspeakable acts have been committed here. Find the way to the build. Drain the flood. Free your children.
Yeah.
Ah. There's 4? There's 4.
Quickly, Mandus. Find the entrance nearby. The children weep in the darkness, and the flood waters continue to rise.
Don't want any of the guests coming in here. They're the wrong color. What? I'm role playing. Oswald is racist. Probably. I don't know. Maintenance access. There is clearly another passage beyond the locked gate. It seems to have a choice of approach. The padlock is old but firm, and after that fall I cannot summon the strength to break it open. Perhaps I can find another way. How about a very contrived bullshit science puzzle? Shut up, fly. You're so sexy. Can I break these? Probably not. Well, we'll find out. No. Put your teeth away, damn it. July 15th. In order to facilitate assimilation of tissue groups, a compound is required or the cells will not bond. Disposal of non-bonded subjects must be immediate or using incineration or risk continuous animation without form. This is unpleasant. A simple compound of 1 part Brennerberg infusion vitae and to 1 part orgone monad dispersal fluid is sufficient. I'm out of breath from reading these. This can then be administered intravenously to subjects following reassembly to maintain bonding. The compound is unstable and highly light reactive. Once in the body, the Schumann lamp can be used to activate the compound, but outside the body is highly corrosive. It can even destroy small quantities of metal. Nudge nudge. Hint hint. Convenient. Yeah, I keep saying the bunker looks like an acid flip, but Machine for Pigs is kind of an acid flip. It has a bunch of unique textures and stuff, so it's not completely the same thing. That's what bunker looks like, so I can't use that as a negative. Use what you got, you know, it's clever, save on resources. The Aztec stuff really is interesting. All the people they sacrificed, it's like, really? Were they really doing it because they thought they had to, or just because they fucking wanted to? Like, It's some form of bizarre mixing device for chemical compounds, and it positively reeks of the foul fluids I have seen too often before. It is clearly a compound, some volatile bastard of 2 composite ingredients. I should wager I will find them close by. I could have submitted my screams. Inflamed it is, burning it does, bleeding from each hole fore and aft, leaking down my legs, blood and excrement, my lungs are in my vomit, I pass clots of my organs now under the filthy stone. Drink this, he says, and I did drink it, I did do that, because of the changes they ripple into me. My teeth sneeze out and scatter like mice in the dark. I cannot find them all, gathered what I can, push them back into my grey gums with my fingers, but the nails are all weepy and falling out. Drink it, he says, it'll help the running of the fever, because not all of us can take the change. On the other table, a beast under a blanket. I never wanted to see under that, but he drank it too. He passed it under the blanket and I heard it drink. Dear God Almighty, how can a man shit so much blood and still live? I do think it's a bit funny that Machine for Pigs on the Steam page is like,
The darkest, most horrific story ever told in a video game.
it's like, shut the fuck up! Yeah, you reference the Holocaust a bunch. It doesn't make it dark, it just makes it unpleasant. I mean, it's dark, it's unpleasant, but it's also unnecessary. There's a lot of Holocaust connotations and connections here. Even though the Holocaust didn't happen. No, I'm just kidding. But, Ah! Don't hit me, you're gay. Ow! Oh. Wait, he hit me twice, that means he was gay and then he was ungay.
There's something wrong with being gay?
Yes? No, no, just... just kidding. If you didn't know,
I
I'm...
fell onto his hands and they eroded in front of me. To stumps. To stumps. Next time we will use an equal mix of infusion vitae and orgone disperser. No, just take him out. You can dump him in the river for all I care.
I am bisexual, I'm allowed to make those jokes. The fuckery here is really fun as well, because like when you go in here they remove the doorway, so you have to go that way, yeah. I love HBL stuff like that, makes me giggle. Oh, that's cool, look at that, the piping turns to wires. I hope I don't miss a note or anything. We got these two. Little hiding place. Excuse me, it's a shame we never need to use it. I wonder what brand this is, I can't make it out. Pacific Railroad? I remember the gameplay trailer for this sequence, it looked really, really cool. And we don't actually get it in this game. Took delivery of another batch of imbeciles today. They are the sorriest specimens of humanity I've ever seen. No one asks where they go to. The authorities of Bedlam are simply happy to reduce their overcrowding in their teeming, stinking halls. We measure their skulls, check their teeth, we even laudanum to pacify them. They wait in line, livestock, dull brown eyes and filthy skin. Many soil themselves as they wait. Into the manipulator they file in silence. I hear the hissing of gas. I hear the dull groaning as teeth are removed, as bones are reset. I hear the pigs screaming. We've removed all the mirrors. After the process, it is their reflections that trouble them the most. Afterwards, when they sleep, I walk amongst them. My children, I whisper to their dreams. You are my children now. I have children once again, and your forms imperfect will be the engines to make my own blood flow again. It's just kind of disgusting, honestly, for the writing to be mirroring such an event. It's honestly just appalling.
Over there, place it in the corner. What? You think I speak Prussian?
Yeah.
Do I look like an inbred hog, sir?
No.
Who gives a damn what it contains? Just set it down carefully and leave me be.
There's a bee? It is weird seeing Darth set assets down here. I'm like, oh yeah, that's this game. I remember when this encounter got bugged out for me a couple years ago. As I run past them. If you just refuse to despawn. Tiny boxes.
The lift has been sabotaged. You will have to find another way to the tunnel. Take care in this place, Mandus. It is the crucible of the evil that stalks these corridors.
The wood is splintering. God. Hey, it's gas that makes you cough. More experiments with Compound X. Took the dog and injected it with strychnine? No idea. After the expected convulsions and spasming, it died just after midnight. I immersed the body in a large tank of Compound X and introduced an alternate current via induction coil for a period of 3.5 minutes. Partial return was induced, however, damage incurred prior to death was retained upon revival, meaning the dog continued in the acute state of poisoning until I put a bullet in its skull. But drowning, perhaps, yes. It is, after all, known to be the kindest of suicides. If one were to drown, replacing the fluid in the lungs with Compound X should be theoretically be perfectly possible as a revival method. That's interesting. My mustache is itchy. Biv. POV, OMD. Yeah, what are we putting into this thing? That's the best little noise you could make for the doors closing, the tiny squeaks. Of the compound, it hisses and steams in its container like some living thing, now which is jelly to burn and corrode. The container is made from glass, a strange choice unless there is some particular reason why the metal that pervades everywhere else cannot be brought into contact with the so-called component X. I should investigate for further clues. See, if this was Rebirth or Stormbirth, that's your assignment would be, I can use this on the lark now. Stuff like that is just so detracting from the experience. Was it still active for a second? Huh. Did we get all the notes? No.
Down here, Daddy. Faster, faster.
Oh, I miss instant grabbing. And the rhododendrons seem to be taking over the garden by the wall. I could dig them for you. No, get out. Get out of this house. You leave them be. Yeah. Can't. I still have a cold, by the way, so I shouldn't really be talking too much. But we have to keep playing. I'm gonna deep throat some honey real quick while they chat about bullshit. Naturally, once bled, the product must be scalded, deheated and scraped, ready for gambroling. Gambroling? Oh, what's that word? An evisceration. I'm gonna look up what that word means. It's what you'd expect. For this, we pass them through the steam reservoir, which is kept at a constant temperature by passing excess high-pressure venting from the engines via the boiler and series of large copper pipes into a stone chamber just below the workhouse. At the center of the machine, there is a component that must be kept at a consistently low temperature, which controls operations of the processing of product throughout the system. Alongside this, refrigeration is of the utmost importance in retaining product quality, and this also requires heat to be removed from certain areas of the machine. Two problems are therefore combined into a single solution: the removal of heat from some areas and the requirements for increased heat in others. Conducting panels draw heat using the principles of convection regulated by the boiler and sending freezing air along one set of pipes in one direction and superheated vapors in the other.
Isn't it dangerous allowing this filthy discharge to collect so close to the core?
We can use the flow to drive the turbines. There will always be a torrent of excreta flooding through these tunnels. We can use this to supplement the steam production and ensure constancy.
Dear God, the stench! This fecal matter is the true product of the age.
I'm sure it's finished correct. Before, after. Let me in, please. Come on. I'm back. My sister just came home from work, so there's probably going to be a little talking and background noise. You have to excuse me. Yeah, just stretch it real small. No one will notice.
Faster, Mandus. Drain the waters. Open the way to the bilge pumps. We are waiting for you.
When me and my siblings were younger, we used to be in the choir at our local church, and I remember my brother was giving a solo. This was like 2007, 2008. He was giving a solo in front of the crowd, singing a song called "Seek Peace and Ensue It." And I could never understand probably what he was saying, and I didn't understand some of those words. Like ensue, what's ensue? As an 8-year-old, or as a fucking 9-year-old, 10-year-old, you're like, what is that? But so I always thought he was saying CP Santa Sluis. And Sluis is a word. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that as an adult. I've known that for years, but at the time I was like, oh, Sluis. It's a word. It's Sluis. Several of the older forms have breached the containment area and escaped into the sewers. They remind me of my limitations. There is no Kelm, and I am no Eliyahu. At least, not quite yet. It is the heat generated from keeping the doorway between open that is to blame. We cannot simply pack them about with coolant as we do with the center where the doorway is. The later versions are kept safe by the freezing temperatures of those towers. Up here where the air is hot and fetid, third time they've used it, they become overheated and their duality tears them asunder, as the other place flies from their cells and their vitae splinters. They live sporadically, torn from one world to the other and back again in violent, unpredictable bursts. For a few seconds they are creatures of this world. Then they are torn away and cease to have any physical form. This vicious ripping back and forth between worlds has driven them quite insane. I've ordered the affected areas sealed and will not allow my loyal workers to enter. These are damned places now, the abode of failed experiments, ghosts of fear and spite. The doorway between worlds.
Where is that? Where is that? Machine for pigs, where is that? Tell me where the doorway between worlds is.
Phil, you make me angry, Phil. Hey.
But we can save them. We can set them free. We can replace a rotten old world with a clean new one. Mr. Mandus, you sound every bit the fanatic.
Well, how can I be otherwise, Professor? How can any man of ethics simply stand by and watch this world drown in its own excrement?
And your engineer, this visionary with whom you have embarked upon this course, does he share your views?
Indeed he does. Indeed he does. The poor fellow has seen it all before. Now, this is not the first great civilization he has wept for.
And so you set about things immediately upon your return?
Naturally. These things cannot be left to rot upon the tree. And sponsors were remarkably easy to find. I tell you, Professor, a trail of greed brings rich men to your door like pigs to truffles.
Get it? Oh, yep. I think the water monster understands the analogy as well. He's like, yes, we get it, move on. Wow. We have to end the episode here, I'm afraid. I know. I'm really sorry. But it is an hour. We've reached the hour. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.